and is telling Rishi Sunak, "Move over, brown boy. Who the hell are you? Where's Boris?" And I'm not here to talk to you. I'm here to talk to this guy. "Hello, sir. How you doing? Nice uniform, sir." And Rishi gets completely ignored. He just gets pushed out of the way like he's a nobody. He probably thought he's an Uber driver. He goes, "Sorry, I don't need an Uber driver today. I got my own 50 car brigade, so I don't need you. I'm going to talk to this guy here, this white guy with a uniform. I love his uniform. Move over, son." Biden didn't recognize the brown guy, said a Twitter user. Oh my God. Let's read some of these comments. "Biden pushed the UK Prime Minister to salute some random white guy." That's a good one. A user reacting to viral video said Biden treated Rishi Sunak as a third wheel. Yes, probably. Biden thought Sunak was a driver. That's what I said. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. I've got an interesting article for you guys today. And before I start, don't forget to do the usual like, share, subscribe. Help the algorithm, guys. It really does help my channel grow, and I really need it. And also, those of you who can support the channel, you're welcome to do so in my locals and Patreons. I really appreciate it. So enough about me. Let's carry on with the show. So I saw this article here in the Daily Mail. And those of you who know the Daily Mail, they are very pro-Ukrainian. I mean, these guys really hate Russia, and these guys are really pro-Ukrainian. So I was surprised to see this article in the Daily Mail today, or was it yesterday? It says Brits who took in Ukrainian refugees demand tougher background checks after falling victim to fraud and theft. I mean, come on. The people in Britain, they are either really stupid or either very naive or a bit of both, or maybe something worse. I mean, first of all, are you that stupid to let in, the most corrupt country in the world, the most corrupt people in the world, the neo NAZIs? Are you that stupid to let them into your house and expect everything's going to be okay? I mean, I can understand um, a lot of people who can kind of support Ukraine from a distance, give them money, but to let them into your own house and to fall victim to fraud and theft, then you must be an absolute idiot. I'm sorry to say, but these British people who have invited these Ukrainians in and let them into their home, fed them, given them money, um, let them kind of play with their kids or their pets, let them in their house. I mean, how stupid are you? Are you that stupid not realizing what kind of people you are letting into your own apartment and to your own family, and what kind of risk you are putting yourself to? And there's stories obviously about Ukrainian women coming into Britain and stealing husbands from British women. And those British women who are agreeing to this, they must be absolute fools and absolute suckers to allow this to happen. Why would they let a beautiful Ukrainian girl come into their house, and the next thing you see is stories about husbands running away with these young Ukrainian women, having affairs with them? I mean, these women who think they're doing a good thing by sticking it to Putin have their husbands behind their back sticking it to a Ukrainian girl. I mean, this beggars belief. Absolute ridiculous as it sounds. So let's read this article, shall we? And maybe have a laugh or two. And you can see here, A number of Brits who opened their homes to Ukrainian refugees are calling for tougher background checks after allegedly falling victims to fraud and theft at the hands of their guests. So I can tell you something, I've been a victim of fraud myself. It's very easy. If somebody can get hold of your passport or your driving license or bank statement or any other letters that come into your home, they can use these pieces of IDs. They can use these to get themselves a loan or get themselves some sort of ID or pass or get themselves a purchase car or a hired car, get themselves an apartment. They can do a lot, they can do a lot. And I've been a victim of fraud many times. It's so easy to do fraud nowadays. All you need is a person's, bank account details and address, a passport picture, driving license picture. So what happens is when you allow these Ukrainians into your home, you're probably gone out to work. While these Ukrainians obviously don't have a job, they're like roaming around the house, snooping around the house, looking for things they can use. They probably find a driving license lying around or a passport lying around because, you know, these people who invite these Ukrainians in, right? They obviously do not do any sorts of background check, so they probably let them in and do not care about security. Leave their passport in the drawers or leave their driving license lying around, leave important papers or letters lying around. I mean, these Ukrainians can do no wrong. They're like angels from heaven, right? I mean, these Ukrainians can never hurt you or cause any fraud because you're giving them a home, you're allowing them into your home, you're giving them food, you're giving them a roof, you're giving them lots of love and care. Surely they cannot, defraud you or do anything bad to you. Surely not. So all of these people who are very, very dumb, who are letting in these Ukrainian people, are basically leaving around their valuables, leaving around passports, letters, driving license, and what these Ukrainians are doing is getting hold of them and doing all sorts of fraud. Because what you can do with that, you can apply for loans, you can buy stuff without ever having to pay it back. There's lots of things they can do, and this is exactly what they've been doing. And you can see there's scores of host-guest relationships breaking down due to deep cultural differences and financial strain placed on homeowners and the ongoing cost of living crisis. When they say deep cultural differences, they mean that Ukrainians are racist. There's a Channel 4 documentary which came out very recently, and these Ukrainians were complaining about brown people, they were complaining about Muslims, they were complaining about black people. They're very, very racist, and this is a nice way to say they're racist, but they're saying cultural differences. I mean, come on. So you can see what these Ukrainians are doing with the fraud. They're splashing out on shopping trips to Harrods, Botox injections, Apple products, while being under no obligation to contribute to household bills. So basically, um, they're stealing stuff. They're maybe stealing money that's been lying around, but any forms of ID they're using to get loans or get money and other ways, and basically they are just defrauding stuff to the max. And this is why Ukraine is the most corrupt country in the world, and the people who let them into their homes are probably the most stupidest people on earth. I mean, I have no sympathy for them whatsoever. I mean, you can look at this. This lady, 53, she's 53, and she's discovered her passport has been used up to 22 homes for Ukraine and other visa applications without her knowledge. So basically, this woman basically stole her passport, and with that passport, she has been bringing her whole family and a whole generation to UK, up to 22 homes for Ukraine and other visa applications without her knowledge. And this is just, tip of an iceberg. Imagine this kind of stuff you can do with someone's passport. There's hundreds of things you can do, and I have no sympathy whatsoever. Seriously, no sympathy. Tour travel companies are now offering coach trip back to Ukraine where they can enjoy their Easter holidays at home. Uh, this guy is offering such trips for just £55 with coaches departing for Ukraine weekly and serving passengers champagne and croissants. Oh my God. They're living the life of luxury. Well, you get this, you get the kind of idea, guys. I mean, I have literally no sympathy for them. So let's see what the comments say. There's about 1,000 comments, and let's see what the British people say, shall we? Our friends had two lots of Ukrainian ladies staying with them. They found them very respectful. Our friends learnt some new culinary dishes. They are now all on 2 weeks holidays in UK. You can tell that's a shill. Yeah, kick it, hit it to Putin, mate. Yeah, well done. Background checks. Sometimes we get hundreds a day. Who's gonna reliably vouch for each one? True. Who would have believed it? Sounds to me these British people are shocked. They're shocked how these Ukrainians are defrauding them. They think they've been painted in the press that Ukrainians can do no wrong. They're like angels falling from the earth. They're white, they're blue-eyed. They can't do any wrong. They're innocent looking. They're beautiful, and people are just falling for it. British people, I mean. Absolute disgrace, these people being welcomed into someone's home through utter kindness, and this is how they repay the British. I'd send anyone taking advantage straight back. I wouldn't even send them back. I mean, this is obviously a criminal action. I would send them to jail. Why send them back? They'll do it to somebody else. They need to. So let's look at a few more, shall we? Cannot believe what I've just read. Unbelievable. Why is it unbelievable? Well, you cannot believe that Ukrainians can do such things. British people I mean, come on, guys. British people need to wake up, seriously. So, if they feel safe enough to jolly back to Ukraine, why not go back there then? And universal credit, what's all that about? Should be funding themselves. Why are we, the taxpayer, doing this? Again, the British people are too dumb to understand. These Ukrainians are coming to this country. They're getting taxpayers' money. Um, Basically, we're paying for them. And not only that, the stupid British people who actually allow them to live in their homes are staying for free. The government is not even paying for that anymore. They stopped funding they used to pay about £300 a month, and that doesn't even cover the electricity bills. And they've recently stopped that payment now. So these people are coming into UK and living for free, literally for free. And these kind hosts are basically giving them a roof over their heads, and they also know that they've got no money, so they're also feeding them as well, looking after them, taking them to the doctors and many other things as well. So they're probably looking after them like a member of family, and this is how they repay them. I'd never take in any of them, not my problem. Finally, somebody who's got a bit of a brain. We are such mugs. We deserve it. I agree, 100%. British people are mugs, and they do deserve it. Seriously, they need to wake up. Too many British people have got their heads in the sands, not knowing what's happening around the world. I can't believe people didn't think about this before signing up to the scheme. Whilst I wanted deep down, the risks were too great in my opinion. See, at least this guy's being honest. You got to give him some respect for that. But completely agree. People who didn't think about any of this before signing up, what did they expect? Seriously. Anyway, now on to the next story. Dodgy Rishi Rich is back to his usual tricks again. He's being his dodgy usual self. And basically what he's done now, he's been hiding tax returns of his wife. And apparently she's got a company where she's a shareholder, some childcare agency, and he didn't declare it in the tax returns. So basically, she's paying no tax for it. So again, he's done it a few times. He's done it before. He failed to declare his wife's earnings in Infosys. And to this day, Infosys is still operating in Russia while every other British company has been kicked out of Russia. Um, so it's just double standards, really. So Labour is asking for an investigation into this, and Number 10 has rejected the investigation. And obviously they would, because he's the Prime Minister and they don't want any investigations on this, and they know he's guilty as well. So again, Rishi Rich is following the same footsteps as dodgy Boris. These guys, these Tory backbenchers turn into prime ministers. These are dodgy as hell. They're in it for the game, the big game, the WEF. They're in it for the money. They're in it for the military industrial complex. You know that Boris Johnson was in it for it because he's getting paid by the military industrial complex. He would spend more time in Ukraine. They would spend in the UK. And the other funny thing is, I don't know if you guys seen the video where Rishi Sunak gets pushed aside by Biden, and literally the funniest thing I've ever seen in a video. Literally get pushed aside. Biden probably thought he's some sort of Uber driver or something. He goes, "Move out of my way. I got my own Uber driver here." And he just pushed him out of the way and decided to talk to some guy in uniform. And it was absolutely hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Um, how can Rishi, basically cuddle up to Biden after that, and basically he's just acting like a little poodle. Go, "Please, sir, show me some affection, sir. Pat me on the head, sir. Please, please." Absolutely embarrassing, guys. And and don't worry, there's more embarrassment to come, and it gets much, much worse. So when Biden arrived in UK, they had some tea in a hotel bar, and Rishi Sunak just sat there drinking his tea like an idiot while Biden was sitting there staring into blank space. And this meeting lasted no more than 5 minutes. And even people are saying here, critics joked that the meeting at the hotel was not long enough for biscuits to be served, let alone discuss boosting transatlantic trade. So this only lasted for 5 minutes. They did some photo ops, they made a couple of videos, and that was it. There was no talk about important issues that's happening around the world. No talk about the economy. No talk about the free trade deal. No talk about Ukraine. No, nothing. Nothing happened. This is how much Biden respects UK and Biden respects Rishi. Not only did he brush him off when he landed, he completely ignored him in this meeting. But you can't really blame Biden. This is all Sunak's fault for being a weak leader. He is an absolute weak leader, weak prime minister. He's got no leadership qualities in him whatsoever. Any other strong leader would basically tell Biden to pee off. Just tell him to pee off. Mind your own business. Britain, Ireland's got nothing to do with you. The issues with Ireland, the issues with Britain, the issues with UK, that's none of America's business. So Biden is here causing trouble between Ireland and the rest of UK. So any other strong leader would just tell him to get lost. And a lot of the papers are saying that. A lot of the papers are saying, this is none of Biden's business. Why doesn't the Prime Minister speak up? Because he's a puppet. That's why he doesn't speak up. And you can see from this trip what a puppet he is. He just like he's looking at he's in love with Biden. He's like a dog waiting for his treats. But Biden is treating UK and Biden is treating Sunak like a side chick. Those of you who don't know who the side chick is, you should look it up. But a side chick is basically a chick that gets used and abused in whichever way he or she wants, and then gets tossed aside. and spat on. You know, there's no benefit being a side chick whatsoever. No benefit. You just get used and abused. And this is exactly what's happening to UK and exactly what's happening with Sunak. Sunak's being used and abused. Britain's being used and abused. Where's the free trade that the United States promised us? What is the point of being the biggest puppet of the United States and got nothing to show for it? No free trade deal, no economic deal, no nothing. You're just a puppet for free. How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing. You're just a free puppet to be used and abused. Absolutely disgusting, guys. Absolutely disgusting. Thing that's embarrassing is he's adding some legislations where kids are forced to learn maths up till the age of 18. And and the funny thing is, he's failed his own maths test. So he's failed his own maths test, and he's forcing kids to compulsorily learn maths. I mean, listen, right? Some kids are good at maths and some kids are not. It's just, it's just the way your brain is. Sometimes some kids are born with the skill. They're really, really good at maths. They can do logical thinking, they can do sums in their heads, they can do numbers. But others, they can't. They just can't. So you're just forcing kids who cannot do maths or don't want to do maths into a subject they just don't like, they don't want to do or hate. And the fact is, he's failed his own maths test and he still ended up becoming the prime minister. So it can't be that bad, can it? Anyway, that's all I have time for today, guys. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.